Good morning, chemistry students. My name is Mr. Adam. This is chemistry. Today is the 5th of May. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. It is a Tuesday, and it is a day 4 in our rotation. So I hope you're all doing well today. I hope you're having a good start to your week so far. Today, guys, I kind of teased it yesterday, but today we're going to have a big announcement. It's very exciting. I'm very excited to talk about this. Your Unit 2 Section 2 quiz will be next Tuesday. Now, that's not the big announcement. So, your Unit 2 Section 2 quiz naturally will fall next Tuesday after we finish Lesson 14 on this Friday. We'll have a data review on Monday, and then we'll have our quiz. But I know, if I'm you, I'm kind of bored of chemistry. I'm kind of sick of it. We've just been doing readings. We've just been doing notes and then taking those mini quizzes, those mini assignments, kind of just spitting back out what we know. I know it's not been the most exciting thing. The transition to school at home has definitely taken away some of the things that we love, some of the creativity and fun, hands-on activities that we normally get to do in class. So, what I did is over the weekend, over last week, I thought, how can we make this more hands-on? How can we make this more fun and creative and get you guys a chance to do something interesting and fun again? And so that's where I came up with this activity. Now, this activity is going to be an alternative to that Unit 2 Section 2 quiz. In other words, if you do this activity, which should be fun, shouldn't take too much time, shouldn't be too difficult, if you do this activity and do well at it, you do not have to take the quiz next week. So if quizzes aren't your thing, bam, kiss it goodbye, do this activity well for me, and you'll be good to go. So this is our first project for school at home, very exciting, and this project is going to be known as the Build a Molecule activity. So you know all the molecules I've been showing off to you, right? The big fancy molecules with my molecule kit. Well, you might not have a molecule kit at home. You know, not all of us do. But you're going to use materials that you can find around your house, or materials that you could find at the grocery store, or at a pharmacy, or online real quick, to build your own molecule. Get creative, have fun with it, and you're going to build your own molecule and show it off a little bit and present on it. So I'm going to be releasing a longer video later today about that activity, about everything you need to know, about everything you need to get for that, so you can go ahead and get started on doing that. That'll be due next Tuesday in place of the quiz, obviously, if you want to do that instead of the quiz. More details on that a little bit later. Okay. Second announcement would be reminder that I have virtual office hours from 1:30 to 2:30 every day. To join those, if you're confused on how to join those, you can email me and ask. But to join those, all you have to do is go to the Google Classroom and go to the stream where you see my announcements posted every day, my videos, and then go to the top where it says Google Meet link and click on that. And then from 1:30 to 2:30, if you join up, I will be online and you can click on that and come for some help, come to say hi, whatever you need to do. Okay, so today's lesson 13, we're talking about shape and smells, okay? So in this lesson, shape and smell, we're considering everything that we have learned today, or so far, about smells, right? What do we know about smells so far? What have we learned in the past 13 lessons, in the past 5 weeks about smell? What affects it in terms of molecules, right? So if you're thinking back, you should know that there are currently 2 things we know that are going to affect how a molecule smells. The first thing we learned long ago was this thing called functional group affects the smell, right? And therefore the name and sometimes the molecular formula, the structural formula also affect it. But we said at the end of the day that name and that structural formula came from there being a certain functional group on a molecule. So if we look at this molecule here that I've built, right? It looks a little bit long and stringy, but we're focusing on the functional group. We're focusing on the atoms that aren't carbon and hydrogen. So these are oxygen atoms, right? And if I flip it up like this, it makes a little bit more sense. You see oxygen, hydrogen, carbon, and another double bonded oxygen. So that would be HOCO, right? HOCO. So this molecule would have a carboxyl functional group, or it would be a carboxylic acid. And so we said this functional group would always make that molecule smell putrid, right? So this is butyric acid. This is that chemical that we smelled way back when we were actually in school that smelled like stinky feet or poopy diapers or Parmesan cheese, right? They smelled really bad and putrid because it has that HOCO, that carboxyl functional group, right? Other molecules that we remember the smell of maybe are this kind of molecule. This element is nitrogen. So this molecule would have a bunch of carbons with hydrogens, but we don't care about those. We just care about the nitrogen. And it's an N with H's connected to it, and it's connected to a C. That is called an amine group, right? And an amine functional group is always going to smell, still bad, but a different bad. It smells fishy, right? So N nitrogen in a compound makes it an amine, which makes it smell fishy. So that's functional group. That's one of the things that affects the smell of a molecule. Now, what we've been learning about lately is this concept of molecular geometry and molecular shape. Molecular geometry is more how one atom, the shape around one atom, right? So this carbon would be tetrahedral because it's connected to another carbon and 4 hydrogens, and all those electron domains are trying to get as far away from each other as possible. But overall, the shape of this molecule is going to be kind of what? It kind of bends up and down. It's kind of long and stringy, right? Okay. The functional group on it is an alcohol, a hydroxyl. It's O and H, but it's a long, stringy molecule. So in this case, it's the shape that determines the smell. The functional group OH doesn't really tell us a whole lot about how it will smell, but the shape tells us everything. So in this case, the shape of this molecule is telling us what it would smell like. And if we look at our chart, we remember that stringy generally smells very sweet. Okay? And then we had our frying pan shaped molecule, right? So a little handle on the end and then a circle in the middle. This frying pan shape is the most important determining factor in what this is going to smell like. Frying pan makes it smell minty. And then finally, if we have a ball-shaped molecule, right, kind of has that ball shape in the middle, that smells like camphor or like pine. So in some cases, you have functional group that's helping you to determine smell. In some cases, you have shape that's helping you determine smell. Now, in which cases is functional group more important or shape more important? Well, you have this wonderful chart on page 205 in your books. So if you have your book with you, or if you have that reading, you can go ahead and check out page 205. You have this great chart where it says molecular names and smells, and that's telling you what a compound type it's going to be, what functional group it's going to be, and what smell it could possibly have. Now, if you look, it says that carboxylic acids, these ones here, are always going to smell putrid. These acids always smell horrible, putrid, like stinky feet, poopy diapers, right? These molecules, the amines that have nitrogen in them, are always going to smell fishy, right? They always have that fishy smell. It doesn't matter what either of their shapes are. This could be ball or frying pan or stringy shaped. It doesn't matter. They're always going to smell putrid and fishy. The other one that has a really strong smell, right? Putrid is a strong smell. Amine or fishy is a strong smell. The other one that always has a really strong smell is an ester. Esters, which we would have synthesized in the lab, always smell sweet. They're the ones that end in ate, right? You ate something sweet. Okay. Now, if we look at the rest, we talk about alkanes a little bit, but they usually smell like nothing or gasoline. If you look at the rest, if you look at alcohols and ketones, right? These are alcohols because they have OH groups. Alcohols and ketones can smell sweet or minty or like camphor. So with those functional groups, alcohols, which are OH, and ketones, which are just a double bonded O. So like this, a double bonded O here. Alcohols and ketones can smell sweet or minty or camphor. So for those functional groups, that is when you look at the overall shape, right? So if you look at your chart on page 206, there's another great chart in your book where it says the different smell categories and what feature is going to matter the most, right? So for sweet, it mostly matters that it's an ester, but also if it's stringy, it'll also be sweet. For a minty smell, it's not the functional group that matters, but the shape. So you're looking for a frying pan shape with that 6-carbon ring, and if you see that, then that means it's going to smell minty. For camphor smell, again, it is the shape that matters most. So a ball-shaped molecule is going to smell camphor or pine. And then putrid and fishy, all that matters is that functional group. So in your assignment that you do tomorrow, you'll have to pick which aspect is the most important. Is it functional group or is it shape in determining the smell? And just remember that strong smells like putrid, fishy, and even sweet, it's the functional group that matters. For the other smells, minty and camphor, it's going to be the shape that matters. So think about that a little bit. Read through the reading, kind of use those tables to help you through the assignment tomorrow, and you'll be good to go. All right, like I said, announcement to follow later today about our project coming up. It should be a lot of fun. I really look forward to seeing some of your submissions with that. And again, big incentive. If you do it, you don't have to do another stupid quiz. Okay? All right, so I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. Look forward to seeing another video later today. Hopefully a little bit shorter than this one. But I'll see you all tomorrow. Let's get a 1, 2, 3. Clap on me.